What's up, buddy? Oh, that was cool. That was awesome. What's up, everybody? I'm headed down to Assateague Island in Maryland, one of my favorite places to visit because it's so close to New Jersey. It's only about a 3.5-hour drive, but it's such a better night sky there. I think you're in a Bortle Class 2 versus New Jersey, which is typically a Bortle Class 5, and you're shooting towards a 4 if you're lucky. So the detail in the Milky Way is fantastic. So I'm actually going to be doing some testing on this trip. I'm going to bring a kit lens with a crop sensor body and do a video to help beginners that, you know, you're starting off with lower end gear. You don't have these $2,000 lenses that are ultra wide. Typically most people have a kit lens and they're usually starting off with a crop sensor camera. So I want to do a video to help people out that are using that type of equipment. I'm also going to be testing the Star Tracker by Move Shoot Move, and they're a new company and it's a Chinese product, so I was a little sketched out buying it because of the wait time. It took about 6 weeks to get it, and in fact I think they actually lost it in the mail, but that was USPS, you know, that's their fault, not this company's fault. But this tracker is really tiny and lightweight, so I hope it works well because it might be my new go-to tracker when I'm traveling around the country. So I'm going to be testing that out and doing a review for that product in the near future. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully it works well. So it should be a fun night. It said clear skies. I'm hoping it all holds together when I get there. I'm going to be doing some car camping and capturing a lot of Milky Way shots. Alright, so I made it to Assateague Island. Perfect timing for a nice beautiful sunset. And behind me, right over here, is the shack that I plan on shooting tonight with the Milky Way. And I might even try and get some other parts of the bay side of Assateague Island. Now normally when I come here, I typically go on the beach side to do my Milky Way photography, but I kind of ran out of subjects to photograph because you're kind of limited here. So typically I'll set up my tent and use that in my foreground subject. Or sometimes I'll use a boardwalk that I could find here, but that's about it. There's really not too much to photograph on the beach side, so now I'm gonna start exploring things on the bay side, like the marsh and this shack. So that's the goal for tonight, and I'm gonna try and get some sleep in a little bit before waking up around 1 a.m. when I start to photograph. Alright, so I'm back. I just had to stop recording for a little bit so I could take some pictures of that sweet sunset that I had. The fire in the sky just ignited. It was beautiful, and I'm sorry guys, but I had to stop and get some really good pictures of it. I'll show you guys in this video shortly. And now I'm gonna move my van into a better spot, just because if I'm going in and out at night in this area, I don't want my van lights to kind of mess up my photography. So I'm gonna park it a little further away from this shack right here. So I'm gonna park it on that side, and I'm also gonna start getting my bed ready. I'm gonna try and take a power nap. Hopefully I could fall asleep from like 9 to 1, and at least I have some rest, because unfortunately it's in the middle of the week and I have to go to work tomorrow. So that's gonna suck. I'm gonna be exhausted, but it'll be totally worth it as long as these skies clear up. So I'll check you in a second. so cool. I just heard that was so cool. I just heard the horses making some noises. They're off in the distance somewhere over there. I saw them earlier, but unfortunately I couldn't find them on the ride up. Maybe I'll see some when I leave tomorrow morning. Well, who knows? But the moon is out right now, and it's going to be setting around 1 o'clock, which would be perfect. I think the Milky Way comes up around 1:45, 2 o'clock. So we should be fine with a nice moonless night. And let's start making my bed. I just gotta move my gear into the front seat. Ooh, look at this thing. My tiny little pillow. Alright, so this is where we're going to be sleeping tonight, on this nice, comfortable 6-inch foam mattress that I actually had to trim so it could fit in here. It tapers a little bit in the back of my van, so I had to do some finagling, but it does work really good. And you can actually sleep 2 people back here. I've done it before, and pretty comfortable. I ain't gonna lie. That is a lot better than camping on the ground. It's a lot better than sleeping on a tent, especially if you're in a rush and you don't feel like setting up a tent. This is a great alternative. And one day I'm going to do a whole van video, because this is not only a camper van, but I use it for everyday stuff as well, like going to work and things like that. So I'll show you the little tricks that I did to kind of make it a stealth camper. All right guys, just a little update. I had to change my sleeping location. A ranger pulled up on me and he saw my bed when I was moving my gear around, and asked me if I was car camping. So he kind of knew I was going to be car camping. So he told me I'm allowed to do it outside of the park. So I decided to drive to this parking lot that is right outside of Assateague Island. Well, I guess I'm still on the island technically, but on the beach access area parking lot. So I don't think anybody should bother me here. It's pretty much a vacant lot. And it's really silly that they care this time of year. I get it if it was peak season, but it's April, there's nobody here, it's too cold. So the fact that they won't let me just take a power nap is kind of silly, but it is what it is. I'm gonna drive back there around 1 in the morning. And yeah, what are you gonna do? I got caught. It happens. And I didn't want to argue with them, and you know, and I didn't want to disobey the rules and have him come back and then give me a ticket. So I figure, you know, he shouldn't bother me over here. So I'm gonna get some shut-eye now. Later. Good morning, everybody. It's about 1 a.m. and I'm at Ferry's Landing in Assateague Island, where that shack was. I want to start working on my foreground images now while the Milky Way is still down, because it's going to take me about 15-20 minutes to set up and photograph each foreground and get a decent amount of exposure time that's going to help me create a cleaner foreground image. And then once the Milky Way is up, I plan on using a star tracker, and then I'll blend those 2 images together. So it's good to kind of get it out of the way before the Milky Way is up, and that way you're not wasting too much time when the Milky Way is actually out. So that's what we're going to be working on right now, and I'll check back with you a little bit. Alright, so I just packed up and I'm getting ready to head home. It was a really clear night and I got some really good shots with the star tracker. I didn't get to test it at 50mm and 85mm. I was just testing it from 14 to 35. So hopefully those shots look good when I get them back on the computer. And I also did some testing with the kit lens, and I'm going to put together a video for people that are using kit lenses and crop sensor cameras. It is challenging, I'm not going to lie. You know, it's hard going from the gear that I'm used to now and reverting back to a kit lens. So yeah, it was challenging, but I do have some tips to kind of help you get some cleaner night images with your kit lens and a crop sensor. Obviously it's not as good as a high quality lens, but at least you could still go out and get some decent photos that you would be proud to maybe print and hang on your wall. So stay tuned for that video. That should be coming out in a week or two. All right guys, I gotta go to work. I will talk to you later. Take it easy.